Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our El Salvador Finca Santa Rosa honey processed Pacamara as a filter offering. I always love Santa Rosa coffee. El Salvador, this is my favorite Pacamara. Sorry, all other Pacamara. Very nostalgic. It's one of the first boxes of Pacamara that I ever bought. Well, I guess back in the day, they were bags of Pacamara, but Finca Santa Rosa is the highest elevation Pacamara farm, at least that I know of. You can fact check that. But really excellent farm. Jorge Rivera, close friend of Onyx Coffee Lab, visited by a few of our baristas and Jason, who's behind your camera, fairly recently, and got to check out the farm, see some cool stuff, do some cool footage, and we have a really excellent coffee that's been stuck in shipping for a while. Now we got it. So, El Salvador Finca Santa Rosa honey processed coffee. Sweet and floral is what I expect from Raul's Pacamara, and this one doesn't disappoint. Traditionally, we get some stone fruit in here. We stick predominantly here on grape, but it's gonna be really good. Raul famously said, "Don't mess up my coffee," and I don't intend to, but I'm gonna brew a recipe that you're not gonna like very much because it's a drip coffee method. Thought about doing a French press, I just really didn't feel like it. So we're gonna use the Stag X dripper from Fellow. I've given a few tips on this brewer to prevent filter clogging. One of my favorites is from Ray Murakawa over at Mellow Drip, which we just call the bean hack. I've got some beads that I have tossed inside of my dripper, just enough to keep the filter from closing down onto those sides and blocking those holes and reducing the surface area that our water can flow through. So a few beads, a few whole coffee beans. You can even use that. Your extraction is going to be minimal. I like the beads. One, these are metal beads, so the heat transfer is really nice. And then also, they're all the same size versus a bunch of coffee beans. But bean hack, there we go. Toss in your filter. I'm going to be brewing a riff on the Tetsu 4-6 method, so we are brewing with 20 grams of water. Sorry, 20 grams of coffee. Ground medium fine. I did 18 clicks on my Comandante C40. This is going to be about 9 on your Baratza Encore and about 30, I believe, on the Niche Zero grinder. So 20 grams of coffee, and we'll be using 300 grams of water. All right, dump all that water out. I've got a nice layer. The filter isn't even sagging in between all of these beads. It's just flat right across the top. All right, let's dose our coffee. Might want to use this funnel. In we go. So I call this a riff on the traditional 4-6 method because I've ground really fine, and I'm not gonna worry about letting the water drip all the way through before doing a next pulse. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bloom my coffee. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, but my water is set to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Start my timer. I'm gonna bloom this coffee, pouring up to 50 grams of water, or 50 milliliters, which is the same thing. Let this rest for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna punch it really heavy, spiraling out until I reach 120 grams total. And then after that pull, we'll let the water drain for a little bit. But here, 30 seconds, I'm gonna punch it in the middle, pour all the way up to 120 grams total. Break that crust, let that drain a little bit, and I'm gonna dump this water out. Plenty of time. Here at 1 minute, I'm gonna punch it again with 60 grams of water up to 180 grams total. So your water should not fully drain in between each of these pulses. If it does, then your grind is too coarse. Drop in the middle, spiral around, finishing at 180. Now I am rinsing around the side, but I'm trying not to get too much water on the outside edge of the filter. Instead, I'm rinsing the coffee in these wings of this filter. Let's see, minute 20. Let's do it again up to 240. I was a little short on that one, there we go. And then, at a minute 40, I'm gonna do it again. Finish it off to 300 grams total. And again, like I said, the water shouldn't drain through every single time. I should still have some standing water above the brew bed. I should never break the flow into my decanter. Now, if this drains too quickly, if I was too coarse, and even if I was dripping through, we're still gonna be pretty good. We're gonna get this tart grape, gonna get a little bit of a bitter cocoa, and you're gonna get these floral flavors that could become a little astringent. Now on the other side of things, if we extract too much of this coffee, that really bitter dark chocolate is gonna overpower a lot of these flavors. That florality is going to become very medicinal, and that fruit flavor is gonna become like overripe, like a little too much. I expect around 2.5 minutes to be fully drained through. And when I am balanced, this is very fragrant coffee. Like I said, stone fruit and floral is what I usually expect from Raoul's coffee. When we are balanced in this year's offering, we get Concord grape, so think rich grape flavor, Demerara sugar, so that like unrefined cane sugar, as well as rose, so again, this is a honey processed coffee. We get a little bit more fruit body, fruit texture during that fermentation process, and we get a little bit more red fruit in this floral quality. We get rose, and I expect cocoa in the finish. Serve and enjoy.